This game is going to expand your chess understanding a bit more. The games between Magnus Carlsen and Anish Giri are always very exciting, but this one is too good to be missed. So let's go through it and try to learn from the world champion. Magnus opens the game with d4, and we have the Tarash on the board after c5. C takes d5, and Anish goes for the super solid c takes d4, which is quickly becoming one of the main lines at top level. Here, as we know, e4 is one of those moves that goes into the endgame after de4, queen d8, and there's a lot of theory there. But Magnus goes for bishop g5. Very interestingly, Magnus faced this with the black pieces against Pragnananda, and he used that same over here because I think he did not like his position after the opening against Prague. So he used this idea against Anish. E3, castles, bishop e2, knight comes out, you go to d3. So you could also go to a4, that's also possible. But queen d3 is what Prague had played. h6, bishop h4, bishop e6, castles, and here queen b6 was played by uh, Anish. In the game against Prague, Pragnananda had continued with a3, and then the game had gone in this way where white was better. But I'm sure that Anish had some preparation over here against a3 and would have come with some ideas. And that's the reason why it was Magnus who first improved, and he took on f6 in this position. Takes, knight takes on d5. The knight is hitting many pieces for now. So bishop takes d5 makes a lot of sense. Queen takes d5, and now comes queen takes b2. So here's your first question. What should white play in this position? Very important moment in the game already, because if you see, the bishop is hanging and so is the rook. What should you do? Okay, if you're going to play a move like rook a e1, that's not really great. I mean, black can continue normally with rook a c8, and he's doing pretty well. The move that Magnus played was bishop c4, and he improves his bishop, he saves his bishop. But what about his rook? Isn't his rook hanging on a1? Actually, it's not hanging, because queen takes a1, rook takes a1, and bishop takes a1 would give up two rooks for a queen. This seems like a good bargain for Anish, and that's the reason why he gets tempted for it. Queen a3 was the best move here, and the position is around equal. Maybe white has some initiative, Magnus has some preparation here, but queen a1 looks so right. Just take and take, and if you see, both sides have 5 pawns. So black has two rooks for a queen. That means black has 10 points against white's 9 points. Isn't that supposed to be good for black? Well, this position is completely winning for white now, believe it or not. And it has just happened in like one move. So that was a clear lapse of uh, judgment by Anish Giri. But I think this could happen with anyone. Why is white winning in this position? So the first thing is, and I think this is the main point of the position, the f7 pawn is very soft. Because that pawn is very soft, one of black's rooks has to constantly guard there. So in a way, you're like a rook down somehow. You know, your one piece is very passive. Secondly, white has all the time in the world to create play, and this he does with his next move. Very nice move. Try to think, what would you play here? G4. Excellent. You could also start with H4. You just want to create play on the king side. So G4. Now, if rook a d8, the queen has a very nice square on f5 from where it cannot be moved, because g6 is met with queen takes g6. This pawn is pinned. So rook a e8 was played. H4. Rook e7 by Anish. Okay, you can also play knight e5, which looks possible. And then after takes, you can take with the rook. But then queen takes b7, and you will see that this pressure here remains intact. position. So he went rook e7. Anish played g5. Magnus played g5. Very direct. Takes. And now h takes g5 was possible. Also possible was a very powerful move here, queen f5. And the idea is knight g5. Because now there would be a mate you can't take here. Knight g5 just came over. Forced mate on h7. g6 met with queen g6. Queen f5, knight e5 possible, but then knight g5, g6, queen f6. White is winning. But in the game, Magnus played knight g5, allowing Anish some respite with bishop f6, but queen f5 takes and takes. And you will notice this bishop is the hero. This bishop is amazing. Once again, g6 in the air. So knight e5 was possible, but I'll just drop back the bishop. Bishop b3, queen f6. Rook f8, f4. You have no time. You move the knight, this pawn falls. So rook e5 was played. Queen f4, rook c5. And now an important moment. What do you play here as white? This is very key because if you were to play bishop b3, then black has the move. What does black have here? Knight a5. And this bishop is thrown away from this diagonal and also this diagonal, and black is completely fine here. But Magnus understood and he played g6. Excellent move. And after this, the troubles continue. Knight e5 takes, knight f7, bishop e6, keeping the knight pinned. Queen moves in. First, the b7 pawn falls. He moves his bishop back. Now the a7 pawn falls. And now with e pawn moving forward, then the a pawn moving forward. Anish Giri resigned in this position. Look at this bishop. What a hero. And of course, the queen doing a commendable job. But I hope you guys liked this game. For me, it's a big thing and a big leap in my understanding of chess here, that sometimes the two rooks are powerless in spite of having open files. It doesn't matter because here is the key weakness. And secondly, the attack with the knight and queen and bishop is very powerful. So a wonderful game by Magnus Carlsen, truly showing world champions understanding of chess. This is Sagar Shah signing off. Bye bye.